I had to get permission from my wife to stand up here. I'd like to say about a year ago, this seemed pretty much the same issue, the same impasse. We were here a year ago. And I think in the course of that year, it's been an emotional issue. I think it's been a divisive issue. I think that in a lot of ways, there was not a trustworthy, or the board was viewed as not trustworthy enough to really carry us forward. Okay? I personally have been involved with Scott and Mike, and they spent a tremendous amount of time with me, which is tough. Those of you that know me know that to be true. My feeling is the due diligence that this board, Mike and Scott and the rest of the group have put to this effort it's been tremendous. The timing and it's not easy. As a matter of fact, if I don't know how you guys can do a regular job, but I've come away with a reversal of opinion. I had this field of dreams, build it and they will come. I think that's still true. I think we can't predict the future, but I think that future probably holds a lot more promise than continuing on as we are. And I think that's been your point a year ago, and I think it's your point now. But I think now, because I think you've been forced to do a little bit more due diligence, you've been forced to look at this a little bit more carefully, you've tried to garnish a little bit more support. I think you earned it, and you certainly have earned mine, and I hope you've earned more than mine with the rest of the club. And I wish you well working forward. I think you know what you're doing, and you've considered the financial impacts. You've considered the construction guys. I think we're in good hands. So thank you.
I almost have to echo that in that it's an excellent report you've given. I have one question. Should it not pass, would you still hire a marketing director, or is that part of just the renovation?
We've had that conversation, and what it boils down to is we question whether a marketing director would be worth the investment, because to get somebody good, to Ron's point, you need to pay somebody what they're worth. If you're giving them a product to sell that's not competitive, how successful can that person be? And when we're already in a deficit operating situation, is that the best use of, are we and should we be creating an additional deficit? At this point in time, it is not in the budget for next year. I think that's a discussion that, frankly, we're all hoping we don't have to have.
Ask them about the popcorn machine.
No, as most people know, I go both ways. I'm a tennis player and a golfer, and I really am concerned about the tennis aspect. We are down to 84 members in the tennis facility, and there is no finer facility up north than that bubble. Nothing around competes with it, except maybe if you go to Boulder. And the Meadows Country Club up there is actually on a waiting list to get into. So if anything can help that out, because I see that diminishing the way it is right now. So I'm hoping that something is done to make that a little bit better. Okay?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Make this lower.
I'm really glad to hear that you were looking at the swim facility, because belonging to this club for 36 years and raising our children here, and when I took my grandson to the pool this summer, it was the same baby pool 31 years ago, or 32 years ago that I took my daughter to. So I really think that if we want to attract families, when we joined, and there's many of us here that belonged when we joined, the Coates and the Wellers and the Burns and Alters, I think we're here, and our children all grew up here, and we looked at this as a full family facility. And I've heard so many rumors about tearing down the snack bar, the snack bar shack, and it's like, oh my God, they're going to have all these wet children coming into the club. And so it's good to hear that all these other things are being considered, because I think we do want young families here. We were all young families and grew up here, and our kids grew up here, and that's what I would like to see for this club in the future. So it's good to see that that's all being considered. Thank you.
Looks like we're getting kind of close to the end. Anybody else like to ask a question or provide a comment before we go? Well, I think on behalf of everybody up here, we want to thank you all very much. This is a process. I think we said it in the letter, and I'll say it again, we're blessed. We have a very, don't all agree, but that's the function of passion. And I think that we are all very passionate about one thing, and it's this club succeeding. And I think the amount of people that turned out tonight and the amount of investment in this process is indicative of that. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you for pressing us to give you the best product possible. I want to thank you for questioning all the assumptions to make sure that we're going the right way. And I want to thank you for your investment in the club. Thank you.